Hey YouTube, this is Eyobe1 checking in. I'm back. I'm making some YouTube videos now. And I guess it's been a while, so I think let's have a good sit down and a good chat, a good vent, if you will. You know, I kind of understand now what Tokyo Kuni and like everybody else goes through. Like, you know, when originally you have a lot of time to make videos and stuff like that, and you have a lot of really cool things to make videos about. It's really easy actually. It's just a lot of fun to make YouTube videos, but when you get down to like your real life and you're having to work and have projects and everything due all the time and school and whatever, I can see how you can kind of fall behind. But it's not something that I want to stop. I had a great time in Japan, video blogging and just making videos and editing them, and then I kind of started worrying about the quality, of the footage that I'm taking and those kinds of things and editing and blah blah blah, and then you let that weigh you down, so you don't really get to make as many videos as you'd like to. But anyway, I'm just gonna start making videos and maybe ranting and just chatting with you guys for a bit. Basically, last year, 2012, I gave you guys an update. It was a really super busy year for me. I really kind of made some big decisions in my life, and I was like, okay, I have to finish school. End of 2012. I was 25 in last year, in the middle of the year, and I was just like, yeah, I gotta finish. There's so much that's waiting once you're done, your degree. Like you can go and do like whatever you want. So just get it done. So I was like mad full-time classes. I was in full-time classes through, you know, through the winter, fall, spring, like the entire year. I was taking maximum load of classes. So I kind of lost myself a bit, I would say. It was a tough year, 2012 for sure. Looking back at it, but in the end, I survived. I'm still here. I'm still breathing, and I think I'm a little bit stronger for it. So that's always good. But yeah, it was such a bitch of a year. But we got it done. Finished up my degree in December. For those of you that keep asking me, no, I'm not a Japanese major. I am a Bachelor of Arts with a psychology major and a business minor. So even though I study Japanese and even though I speak Japanese, it was always more of a hobby, and not like my main focus for my career. I started studying Japanese just because I was interested in anime and manga and things like that, and then I started learning about Japanese culture, and then I got more interested about Japan, and it was that cycle that I mentioned before. But now, now that I finished my degree and I was like, okay, what do I want to do? Where do I want to go in my life? I keep finding myself drawn to, working, not in Japan, but related to Japan. So something, international relations focused, or, you know, international business focused, collaborating or cooperating with Japan. So I think that's the kind of route that I'm heading down now. When it comes to my job that I'm gonna do. So that was part of my reasoning, like why I wanted to do the JET program. So I told you guys, I guess I haven't told you guys yet, but I have been accepted to the JET program for 2013-2014. I didn't get the CIR position that I was applying for. I got offered the ALT, so that's the assisted language teacher. And I will be, helping to teach and help people practice English in Japanese school system. So, I really, when I first thought about JET and thought about that route, at first I wasn't too excited, to be honest, when I originally thought about it, because not coming from a place of having like a high ego or something, but I was like, you know, I've done the teaching English thing, whether it was just Eikaiwa or whatever, and I didn't know if teaching was for me, or if I'd be interested or excited about that. But then at the same time, I looked at a lot of the things that I have interest in, and I have interest like helping people and like, coaching people and motivating people to do things and like push their limits and go further. So even with these videos, a lot of the times I make this video for me of 7 years ago when I was first interested in studying Japanese, and I was just looking for a resource, and I needed somebody to push me. That push for me was watching Tokyo Kuni or watching Tokyo Swan or something. Watching people actually doing it, and then getting that motivation to be like, yeah, I'm gonna do that too. So I was talking to my girlfriend about her ALT that she had when she was growing up in Japan, and she told me that her ALT really motivated her and pushed her, and was one of the reasons that she even came to Canada to study English and things. So you know I thought that was really cool, and I kind of get excited to do that. Like if I would be able to be some kind of like great teacher Yobi, that'd be kind of cool. So I'm excited for that. Career wise, I think it's cool because I'd just like to be back in Japan for a bit. Um, you know, Long term, I don't know if I would live in Japan for forever, but I'd love to be working in a job that's related to Japan, like going back and forth. Preferably situated in Canada. I feel like this will be a good year going abroad and teaching. I don't know where I'm going to be placed yet. I won't find that out for another month. I'll give you guys an update when I find that out. But it's almost like roulette. Like you give your preference. I did give my preference for the city that I stayed in before, for Nagoya, and the Aichi prefecture. But again, I don't know. I think they try to give you close to where you want, but we'll see. Um, you know, and even thinking about it, one thing that I recognize is that I'm not going back to Japan for the same experience that I had when I studied abroad. I'm not going back for that university student, just going around and having adventures and fun and, experiencing Japan experience. I'm going to work and I have a plan and I have, goals and things that I really want to go and achieve. Not that I didn't have those before, but I know this experience is going to be completely different. Especially talking to my friends about their experiences teaching in Japan. I've had a couple friends that are currently even still teaching. It's a whole different world, from being a student to actually working as an English teacher. If you watch Tikio Sam's videos about his shenanigans and charades and crazy adventures teaching English to like basically anybody, there's a lot of cool YouTubers that do a lot of cool things from that platform, So some people use that as a stepping stone to get their foot in the door to be able to like go and find a different type of job. I think Tokyo Kuni started as a teaching English in Japan kind of thing, and he started on that visa, and now look at him doing his thing. So Tokyo Kuni doing big things too. I'm kind of excited to see what's up. Like, I just feel like if I go to Japan, I'll be able to, get more time to motivate myself to, be immersed and study Japanese. And I really want to get JLPT2. Um, I was even shooting for JLPT2 for this December. I think it's possible, but I really have to buckle down and study. And it's so hard for me to study. I don't know why. Mm, you know, like I watch tons of anime and I'll watch anime all day, and my speaking hasn't really gotten down from when I left Japan in 2010. But when I did the reading comprehension test for the CAIR position, I was just drawing a blank. Like I couldn't grab I knew what's all the different words were, and I knew the meanings of the kanji, but I forgot the readings, and I just couldn't comprehend it. And I realized, if you don't use it, you lose it. Seriously, about every language. I grew up in French immersion, and I took French like every day, all day for whatever 12 years. I don't know how long was that. Probably like 12 years. And now that I don't use it, it's not my strongest language anymore. I say my Japanese is almost, well, no, I'll say my French is still better than my Japanese, but it just doesn't feel as natural as it used to be when you're using it every day. And it's true, man. Like if you're not reading something every day, if you're not writing something every day, if you're not pushing yourself, then you're gonna lose it. And that was the result, man. I went into my interview, and I did well with the interview questions, just a basic interview. So I guess I'll break it down. So for my CIR interview, I went to the consulate in Calgary. I went in there. I had a friend; she was going for ALT, and I was going for CIR. And I hadn't really practiced Japanese before I went, which was a big mistake. I look back on it now. I should have spent more time doing that, but again, I've been super busy with work and school, so. But anyway, I went into the interview kind of just fresh, just like I am now. Like I just went in, I was like, okay, throw it at me. I didn't think it'd be that tough to pick it up. I read some texts, a little bit of online things to kind of brush myself up, but